Hey everyone, I'm Oliver from Photon Slingers, here to bring you a quick and dirty tutorial on MadMapper and Unreal Engine integration. This is my first ever tutorial, so please be gentle. The software we're using today is MadMapper 4 and Unreal Engine 4.26. The NDI plugins aren't working for this preview version of the Unreal Engine, so currently you're limited to ArtNet visualization. But trust me, the steps forward they took with the back end of the DMX plugins is well worth it, and given time and for 4.26 to come out of preview, new tech will probably just update the SDK like they have with every other previous version. So we'll be right back on to doing visualization and ArtNet right in the one engine. You're welcome to grab an older version and use DMX in it. It's just not really as nice. There's no extended libraries for fixtures or anything. It's honestly 4.26 is where you want to be. Anyway, let's just dive right in. So first thing you want to do is grab the Epic Games Launcher. Just make sure this will be the first window you see. You want to make sure you've got 4.26, as I said, installed. To do that, it's just grab an engine version to make sure it's this one. It won't let me reinstall it twice. So I've already got MadMapper open here with a fixture built. It's a 34 by 1 pixel bar. Hang on. What are you doing? Sorry, I got my monitor set to 4K with 100% scaling just for the split screen ability. Normally I have it set to 125% so you can click on things a little easier. So we'll turn that into a pixel bar. So yeah, 34 by 1. It's modeled after some pixel bars I'm building based on 34 per meter pixel strips. So I'm going to go ahead and launch the engine. This will take a moment. If this is your first time launching the engine, it may hang and freeze a lot during opening. Don't worry about that too much. It is just the engine compiling shaders in the background. And that can take a long time on your first boot. So don't worry about it. We want to go, I'm going to go film television on live events. And then go next. This is essentially what we're going to be building. I just did a quick run through for me. But we'll start a new project. So we're going to go blank project. No started content, ray tracing disabled. And then MadMap. Let's do this properly. MadMap. Create project. Yep. I have a very small graphics card for doing this. It's only a little 1050 MHQ, which is like the underpowered version of the 1050 that uses less power. Yeah. This laptop has seen me through a lot of shows running MadMapper and Onyx, but this is a lot of 3D calculations while also running shaders. So you're going to be presented with a world like this. The first thing you're going to want to do, if you have this pop up, you can go manage plugins. I'm going to dismiss it and I'll show you how to get to the other way. You also want to update your project. So we want to go to edit plugins, which is where that pop up would have got you. And then we're going to type in DMX to here. We're going to go enable, yes. Enable, yes. And enable, yes. This is not fully fleshed out yet, but just because once you do, you have to restart the engine to load those plugins. So I kind of suggest using the one project for a long time till you kind of really clutter it up and it gets really laggy, and then start a new one, at least to begin with. So it's just reloading the engine with the plugins because they're native to the engine now, which is really nice. Saves us a lot of time. Okay. So, turn this back to here. No, not quarter. Go to half, thank you. We don't need this open anymore. One thing we're going to do is go to project settings, and then we're going to go down to DMX, and plugins, DMX plugin. Sorry, I moved very, very fast with my mouse. I should be a little slower. And then we want to set it to our ArtNet. If you're using a loopback adapter, you can do that too. I find this way I don't have to remember to swap MadMapper back. That's all we have to do. There was previously there was a whole whack of things you had to change in here. But that is no more, thankfully. In the editor preferences, if you have a very underpowered computer like mine, you want to make sure that this is dechecked. You want to make sure that yeah, this is false or not true. Just because it won't, when you flick over to MadMapper to make a change to a shader or something, it won't lag out until you click back in the engine. Anyway, that brings us to here. Your content browser on the bottom, first thing you want to do is go show engine and show plugin content, just because we want to be able to see that stuff. That's where the DMX fixtures are. The good stuff in this folder here. But first thing we want to do is close that, go back to content, because this is the folder we're going to work out of, and go new folder. Call this one DMX Stiff. Go into the folder, and then we want to go DMX, and we want to create a DMX library. This is your patch, or DMX library. I'm going to call mine patch, because I am traditionally a lighting guy, and we like to work with a patch. The patch in UE is a little different in that you actually have to patch your controller too. So we're going to go patch this. This controller is called MadMapper because that's where we're getting our signal from. If you want to do Unicast stuff, you can get right into this and yeah. Really the limitations of Unreal is the limitations of your ability to fiddle with the blueprints of the C++ coding. It is open to as much tinkering as you want. So we're going to give this 4 universes. I think this show only uses 2, but let's give ourselves some room. Also, universe start is 1. That is logical universe 2, or universe 1 in MadMapper. I hate this. It's not universe 0. When you have a fixture patched, make sure it's... See, I already screwed up. This fixture here is patched in universe 0. It needs to be patched in universe 1. Okay, go back here, change this to universe 1, done. Okay. Don't screw that up. You'll bang your head against the wall. Make sure this is ArtNet universe 1, because it's ArtNet universe 1 here, which is universe 2. I hate this. I hate this whole thing. Can we fix this, please? I understand logical universe 1 is 0, but anyway. So we want to fetch a new fixture, which is our pixel bar, much like you would build in MadMapper. Again, this is quick and do. This is a more UE4 tutorial, not a MadMapper tutorial. I'm assuming that you are quite familiar with MadMapper. Otherwise, I can make some more tutorials and we can go through the basics of that too. I have no problems with that. That's just not what's on the schedule today. I'm going to go static and matrix pixel bar. Matrix fixture. And we don't need to import anything. I'm going to go atom mode, which is, I'm going to call it 34 pix RGB mode, sure, whatever. Leave it like this. I'm going to go X cells 34, because it's 34 by 1. And then we need to add our 3 attributes, which is your channel mappings. So the 3 DMX channels that each pixel is going to use, because we're just going to make them RGB. You can do RGBW if you want. It looks cleaner. It's recommended. Just for the sake of tutorial, I'm trying to match the actual physical ribbon I own, which is RGB. We're just going to do RGB. I know it seems a bit asinine to rename the description the attribute mapping. I think it should grab this when it does it. But whatever. That's just for simplicity. So, as you can see, we have 102 elements. Cell function starting at channel 1. It's all good. If you had a MOSFET dimmer, you can add that sort of stuff here. We're not going to worry about that right now. Then we're going to add fixture, pixel bar. I'm going to call it pixel bar 1, just because _1, like underscore a number, Unreal Engine understands to increment if you duplicate, which is Control W, or you can right click and duplicate. Yeah. As you can see, it's patched in here, and then what we want to do, DMX channel monitor. So as you can see, we have, it's a few frames behind, as you can tell, but they match. We're good to go. I'm going to make sure that in here, DMX channel monitor. You can also use the activity monitor. That you have the correct output from MadMapper. In here, in MadMapper, if you don't know where this is, from your queues, like scenes queues, you go DMX monitor. And then just make sure it's on Universe 1, because we have to use Universe 1, just like a fixture. So now that we have a patch, we want to go here, do DMX, and then we go, so here's your fixture, DMX stuff. As you can see, there is a bunch of stuff in the works. I don't know how much of this works, how much it doesn't. Can't tell you for sure, this one does. This is the matrix that we're going to be using, the BP static matrix, like the blueprint static matrix. That's the one we want to use. But what we're going to do is create a child blueprint class, which is like a clone that references the thing, but any changes we make to the clone don't saturate back. So we're going to call this pixbar, because that's what we're building. And then we want to move this to here. Just make sure you go move. No, you don't want to make a copy. So now that we have our pixel bar and our DMX library with a pixel bar patch, actually we want to do a little bit of world editing. So first, grab your player model and move that sucker back, just because otherwise you'll have to find your lights. Here, good. This is where you start when you hit play. So just make sure it's behind the lights. Then we want to drag a light into here. And then I normally, yeah, let's get this a little more over here. So I'm going to set the location to 0, 0, and 100, which is about a meter off the ground from my understanding. And then to turn this into a pixel bar, we'll go 100 by 5 by 5. Generate preview mesh, and as you can see, it's turned itself into a little pixel bar there. But it thinks it only has one pixel because it is a matrix fixture, so it'll try and grab the fixture matrix from patch. So we go generate preview mesh, and done. We have a nice little pixel bar, and if I hit play, as you can see, we have a pixel bar responding like it does in MadMapper. At this point, you'll probably want to grab skylight, sky sphere, and atmospheric fog and delete them, because we don't need them, and they will use your resources for no reason. You're welcome to keep. There's no reason other than saving some resources to do that. Just like turning the light intensity value down here to 10 and the light distance to 150 is just to save my poor little GPU some resources. So now that we have a fixture patched in here that is responding to the way it wants in here, let's build something a little cooler than a single bar. So you can pretty much fast forward from here, because it is just me moving pixel bars around. Yeah. So one thing to note, when they're duplicating, they will move 10 in most directions. I'm going to reserve this just so they're in line. We'll turn this to 45. Turn this to minus 45. Yeah, the good thing about keeping them geometrically similar, and then Control W is duplicate, just again, is that it's super duper duper easy to make everything line back up in MadMapper because you can just use the same geometry, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to move these all roughly into position. They're moving out by 10 every time, so we're going to kind of line them all up-ish. And then we'll deal with the alignment in a second. I mean, the other thing is you could keep it because you're slowly moving backwards. Maybe we'll just leave it, because that's kind of cool. Actually, I never thought about that. Things you can do virtually that you can't do unless you have inordinate amounts of space in real life. You know what I'm saying? This one here, I don't even know if these line up properly, but stuff it. That's not bad. If we hit play, how do they sit? Yeah, they're all patched to 1 because I was just duplicating. So let's make them not do that. So, explore 2. Oh, hang on. So, first thing we want to do is we need to patch. We have 1. We need to patch 8. So we're going to duplicate this 7 times. So we have 8 fixtures patched like that. And then we can go pixel bar 2, and then 2. Pixel bar 3. And 3. Etc. And so on. It's a little tedious, I know. Until they are all matchy-match. And then, if I hit play, only the 1, which is patched, is now doing things. So let's flick over to MadMapper. We can leave that running in the engine. So rotation, 45. I always get this wrong. Minus 45. Shrink back down. Duplicate. 45. Perfect. Now that we have those two, we can just go doop. Doop. I'm gonna have to shrink these all in a second. It's okay. Put that like that. Put that like that. And then, yeah. See, it's already working. And that is how you get MadMapper into Unreal. If we hit Shift F1 now, our mouse is locked again. We can get our mouse back out. Damn it, I didn't create these in the group. So, that's the one thing. Yeah, group 1. Okay, so now if we, like, do other shaders, you can see it works great. Do this one, do this one, it don't matter. If you have amazing PC, you can grab all of these and go high or ultra, and they look amazing. You can turn the light intensity up, make them go on forever, like it doesn't matter. If we move back on here, you can see like they're like blinders. Yeah, but it don't matter. Whatever you want. Same with the moving heads that are in the library here, if we escape out of the engine real quick. It's so pretty when it does like formulaic stuff. Anyway, if we go back to the DMX fixture content, and then light fixtures, which is what we're focusing on, you can see there's a moving head in here, moving matrix, which is like a magic panel, moving mirror, static head, the static matrix, we're using a static strobe, and a wash. There's also all of the other like effect stuff, and NDI libraries once they get patched into this version. But yeah, that's pretty much it. As you can see, we have a working visualizer for MadMapper, so you can work on all your stuff and kind of see it play out in real time. And this whole solution is completely free, other than the MadMapper license, I guess. But this is for people who own MadMapper, not having to pay for more stuff, mostly. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Hope it wasn't too convoluted. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message, or grab me in the comments here. I'll post links to more of the resources that I use to get to this point in the description, as well as I'll be resharing them on my YouTube channel. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.